Good afternoon, Nelson. Let's start by, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Great. Well, listen, Mark, first of all, thank you. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. And I'm a big proponent of NAMWOLF and everything we're doing. I sit on its board, and this is so important. I really appreciate this opportunity. As far as me, Mark, I'm a lawyer of 27 years. I'm in Miami, Florida. You can tell by the background. That's actually a real picture of a shark, by the way. And so I've been a lawyer for 27 years, graduated from the University of Florida. I was a prosecutor when I got out of law school. I was a prosecutor, proudly served under Janet Reno and then Kathy Fernandez-Rundle. After 5 years, I switched over to private practice, went directly into commercial litigation, went into a small commercial litigation boutique firm, where I cut my teeth, went on to some of the bigger firms, Hinshaw and Culbertson, then Shook, Hardy and Bacon. About 8 years ago now, I met Fernando Roig and really fell in love with his firm, Roig Lawyers. It's 6 offices in Florida. We serve everywhere from northern Florida, Jacksonville, right down south into the Keys. As far as myself personally, I manage their Miami office. My practice areas include co-chairing their SIU fraud investigation practice group. I chair their commercial litigation practice group. And like I said, I head up the Miami office. We have about 10 attorneys that I manage, as well as paralegals and assistants. As far as the practice areas that I cover, I'm a trial attorney. I think a lot of in-house counsel look for people with experience, comfort in the courtroom that know the attorneys. And that's something that I bring. Having been a prosecutor, I'm in front of a lot of the same judges or individuals that became judges that were with me at the state attorney's office and the public defender's office. I sit as chairman of the ethics commission in Dade County. I just helped select, I chaired the inspector general selection process, and I'm very proudly involved in the law field here in South Florida and throughout Florida. And I've done various trials, from products liability trials, insurance defense trials, commercial litigation trials, premises liability. So I cover different areas. And like I said, I think when it comes to in-house counsel, I think many of them are looking for experience or looking for somebody who has comfort in the courtroom on different areas. And that's where I think I stand out a little more than perhaps others.
That's great, Nelson. Next, can you tell us what does diversity and inclusion mean to your law firm?
Mark, I can tell you it means a lot. That's what appealed to me about Roig Lawyers, was that we are one of the largest minority-owned law firms in Florida. And when I joined this firm, it was an easy transition from my former firm. First and foremost, my former firm was also a member of NAMWOLF, and this firm became a member of NAMWOLF, and in large part had the reflection in its staff and its attorneys of our community. And why was that important to me? I think sometimes there's a misperception that people join NAMWOLF or other organizations like it because they have an interest in just getting the business, right? And maybe that's so for some. For me personally and for my law firm, we truly live it. Our attorneys reflect the makeup of our society when it comes to the breakdown of Blacks, Hispanics, whites, women, gay. We run the gambit. I think it's important to be inclusive. And you say, well, why is that important? I've been living it, Mark. When I was at Duke University, I started an organization called Spectrum. This organization brought together the Asian community, the Hispanic community, the Black community, the Native American. It was really the melting pot. I thought it was important to bring all these groups together, this leadership together, to really lobby the administration. When I went to college, which was many years ago at Duke University, it was really perceived as very much a white school, and it wasn't very welcoming to minorities. So when I got there as a sophomore, I became president of what was called SALSA, the Spanish American Latin Student Association. And I recognized, having been friends with many of the leaders in these other organizations, that there was power in numbers. So we actually lobbied the administration to diversify the student body, the curriculum, as well as the professors. I graduated as a history major, but I didn't have one, as a history major who focused on Latin American history as well as political science, I never had one Hispanic professor. And that to me was a shame. I thought that I could get a lot more experience from somebody, not that they needed to speak the language, but they actually had experienced those countries and were part of that culture. And so for that reason, I've really lived diversity and inclusion my entire life. I recently spoke at a town hall for Duke University on Zoom, talking about diversity and inclusion. I chair the Hispanic Latino Alumni Association nationwide for them. And again, I was there speaking on behalf of an organization. I was there at the invitation of the Black alumni who were interested in addressing the Black Lives Matter movement. And we were there to support. I'm a big believer that you need to support other groups. NAMWOLF is an incredible reflection. We saw the statement that Joel Stern put out when all of this happened in Minnesota. And I think that NAMWOLF can be a leader. I say it often, I sit on the board. This is an incredible opportunity for NAMWOLF and for those in-house counsel and our members to see the great quality of lawyers that we have. I'm not only talking on behalf of Roig Lawyers, I'm talking on behalf of all our members. Take a look, look under the hood, because we have some fantastic lawyers that come from very diverse backgrounds. And our country is enriched, Mark, when we have a diverse group of lawyers. And our firm, Roig Lawyers, certainly reflects that. And that's what really appeals to me. And I got to tell you, when it comes to diversity and inclusion, like I said before, I've been living it for a long time, and I'm very involved in my community in different organizations that support diversity and inclusion, including, I got to give a shout out to the Overtown Youth Center that was developed many years ago by a Heat player, by Alonzo Mourning, who went to Georgetown, didn't go to Duke, but he's done a great job down here. And for the last decade, I've brought together Duke alumni to support these poor, mostly Black, underprivileged children, and you see the great results that coming together can help them. And we bring a lot of professionals that come together and try to help these students and give them tutoring, help them, introduce them to things like yoga, introduce them to things like health and fitness. I'm very proud of that. And perhaps that's not supposed to be in the script, but to me, it's important, because that, to me, is what diversity is all about. It's feeling comfortable with other races, with other genders, feeling comfortable and helping out and coming together. And that's where I think NAMWOLF does a great job, which I truly appreciate.
That's great, Nelson. It's clear you're passionate about diversity and inclusion. Next question is, with NAMWOLF Week fast approaching, what are you most excited about in terms of NAMWOLF Week and the new format?
Right. Well, I feel great about it, because I feel like I've helped being on the board. I've been talking about it for a while. And I said this yesterday, because I also chair the Trials Pack for NAMWOLF. I really feel that this is going to be an incredible opportunity for our membership. We have well over 250 in-house counsel who are going to participate, who have registered. We have, obviously, all of our great members and firms, and I'm excited to actually be able to attend. I literally blocked off a week to try to attend as many of the CLEs as possible, as many of the social events as possible. The Trials Pack's putting on a great event. Big shout out to my co-chair, Michelle Nealon, because she's done a great job. She's an attorney in Austin. Again, I'm excited about the format, because I think it's going to let you, from the comfort of home, really participate and get involved in what really I think is going to set the standard for other organizations like the HNBA and ADA. I think Joel Stern, Jane Collada, the rest of the staff have done a great job in organizing it. And now it's going to be time to let it roll. And I'm excited at the numerous opportunities. Plus, I'm also speaking on a CLE panel on arbitration, so I'm excited about that as well.
Great plug, Nelson. Last question. Tell us a little bit more about your law firm.
Sure. Thanks, Mark. And listen, I again thank you and thank NAMWOLF for giving us the opportunity. As far as Roig Lawyers has really been one of the big advocates of NAMWOLF, especially over the last 6-7 years since I've been involved. We continue to increase our sponsorship because we see the benefit of it. And I often say, the benefit isn't only, you can't say, well, I didn't get this big company to provide me with business. If you look at it that way, and if you look at it as a sprint, you're not going to be successful. We at Roig Lawyers have seen this as a marathon. We've invested in NAMWOLF. We try to be big sponsors when we can. Listen, there's smaller firms that can't do it, and I understand it. But when it comes to my firm, we're really invested this. And if there's an in-house counsel out there that's looking for lawyers with experience, we're looking for honest lawyers. I do want to, and I want to leave you with this thought. I know I'm also a counselor for companies. A lot of attorneys will want to bring in the business and start the billing clock. That's not me. I'm looking for creative ideas, and I just got a case from NAMWOLF for a big client. And the first thing I said is, why don't we reach out to them before they even serve the complaint? Because we know that it's been filed. Why not reach out to them? Because we can attempt to at least settle a matter and save the client a lot of litigation costs before you go and you spend all this matter on litigation and entrench yourself in your position. We all know that now with this pandemic, there aren't going to be a lot of trials. So I believe that if there's a lot of companies or defendants, which we often are, which will use that opportunity not to go to trial and use it to basically kick the can down the road and not resolve matters. I think that that's not necessary. Maybe for some cases it works. For others, I strongly believe you could still settle these cases at a very, let's say, cheaper value than normal, because there's going to be some plaintiffs' attorneys out there that are going to be anxious to settle. So listen, if there's a plug for my firm, again, we have offices in Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando, West Palm Beach, Deerfield Beach, and Miami. If you have matters in these areas, I would say, please give us a chance. We have a lot of experience. Again, I mentioned the products liability, premises liability, insurance defense. We run the gamut, whether it be auto or property, first party or third party. And again, I handle commercial litigation matters, some complex commercial litigation matters for some big companies. We do real estate litigation as well. Again, to me, you're hiring a trial attorney, and if you're looking for somebody with experience, you're looking for somebody with dedication and honesty. There's a reason why I have chaired the Ethics Commission. Ethics are very important to me, and I was selected by the Chief Judge to sit in that position, to sit on the Ethics Commission, I should say, and then my fellow commissioners have voted me on as commissioner. To me, that's a very important position because it says a lot about honesty and integrity, and I think that's what you'll find not only in myself, but you'll find that in my attorneys in my firm of Roig Lawyers. So thanks again, Mark, for this opportunity, and look forward to a great NAMWOLF annual meeting.
Thanks, Nelson. Look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks, buddy.